Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update for Saturday, July 18th. This update is for those of you that are still waiting for your first stimulus check, as well as those of you that are wondering about the second stimulus check and the next stimulus package. If this is your first time to my channel, my name is Justin and I do stimulus updates and give financial advice. So go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And be sure to like this video so YouTube will share it with others. So in this video, I'm going to be going over these 3 questions about the second stimulus check. First off, what is the timeline for the second stimulus check? When are we going to receive it? Secondly, who is going to be eligible for the second stimulus check? And third, how much is the second stimulus check going to be? I'm going to be talking about the second stimulus check a little bit later in the video, but first, let's talk to those of you that still are waiting for your first stimulus check. Many of you waiting for your first stimulus check are on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or receive VA benefits. The IRS is taking its sweet time getting you out those checks, and unfortunately, a lot of you are still waiting for your first stimulus check. I'm going to be going over a few reasons why you may not have received your first stimulus check, as well as what you can do to hopefully speed up the process and get it finally. So first off, if you haven't received your first stimulus check, the IRS may not know where to send your payment, either to an address or to a direct deposit account. So what I've been suggesting to those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus check and are not required to file taxes, I suggest that you use the non-filers tool on the IRS website to enter your information. If you've already used the non-filers tool, it should take about 2 to 3 weeks before you receive your stimulus payment. But if you haven't used the non-filers tool and you're not required to file taxes, please use the non-filers tool on the IRS website to enter your information. It does say on that website that those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or receive VA benefits do not need to use the non-filers tool. However, as long as you're not required to file taxes, I still suggest that you use the non-filers tool. Also, if you haven't received your payment, check the Get My Payment tool. If the Get My Payment tool shows that you should have already received your payment in the past, and it's been more than like a few days if it's direct deposit, or a few weeks if you were mailed a paper check or EIP debit card, then you need to call the IRS and issue a payment trace. You can call the IRS on the stimulus hotline at 1-800-919-9835, but I've also been giving out another IRS general number the past few videos, and some people have had success with that. Both of these numbers are only available Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. So don't bother calling today or tomorrow, but call Monday morning. And if you call the general number, that number is 1-800-829-1040. And if you call that number, when you first get a representative, you need to tell them that you want to be transferred to individual accounts. You can't ask that first rep about a stimulus check question, or you'll probably get transferred to the IRS hotline or somewhere else. So once you get a representative on that general phone number, 1-800-829-1040, then you need to ask to be transferred to individual accounts. Once you're transferred, then you can start asking questions about the stimulus payment and ask them if you should have already received it, or if they have your information, or if they're waiting on something from you before they can send it out. I've had quite a few people that have said that they've had success with that IRS number. If you were claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes, no matter what age you are not eligible for the first stimulus check. Unfortunately, I'm hoping that the second stimulus check will include those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes, but that's still up in the air. If you have a representative payee, make sure you talk to your payee and find out if they've received your stimulus check or not. If you've tried all those avenues and you still don't have your stimulus check, keep trying to call the IRS and get an answer. The IRS does have representatives that can help you. Both the general number and the IRS stimulus hotline have helped people. The stimulus hotline seems like it's a lot more painful and a lot more time consuming to wait on hold than the general IRS number, but I've had people that have had success with both of them. So if you're still waiting for your first stimulus check, if you haven't filed taxes and are not required to file taxes, use the non-filers tool. Call the IRS, keep checking the Get My Payment tool. Let me know in the comments section below if you have any questions about the first stimulus check. But let's talk about the second stimulus check. Here are the questions I'm going to cover in this section. First off, what is the timeline for the second stimulus check? Secondly, who will get the second stimulus check, and third, how much will the second stimulus check be? While all of these are just going to be my best guess based on the information that we have, there is quite a bit of information out there, and I think we can get a pretty good idea how to answer these questions. So first off, what is the timeline for the second stimulus check? Well, as most of you know, Congress is still on recess, but they will be getting back on Monday, so just in a couple days, and they've said that they're going to be deliberating the next stimulus package and the second stimulus check in this first week that they're back from recess. If they work quickly and get something passed by the end of the week, July 24th, then if the House works quickly, they could have something passed by the 31st of July. If by the 31st of July something's passed and President Trump signs it soon thereafter, then we could be looking at 2.5 to 3 weeks into August. The CARES Act took about 2.5 weeks before the stimulus checks were going out after the bill was signed and finalized. This could be a little bit quicker than the CARES Act if the eligibility requirements stay the same as what the CARES Act or that first $1,200 stimulus check was. So there is a possibility that's a little quicker, but my guess is the very earliest we could see the next stimulus check is probably about 3 weeks into August. That's best case scenario. Worst case scenario is they can't pass something before the August 7th deadline. Nancy Pelosi said this week that they aren't going to go on recess until something is passed for the next stimulus package. So hopefully that deadline that Nancy Pelosi has set will give the Senate extra incentive to get something passed quickly. In addition to this, the unemployment benefits do expire the end of July, so both the House and the Senate are going to want to do this quickly and get something out as quick as possible. So the timeline is, earliest we could see is probably about the third week in August for the next stimulus check. The next question is, who will get the next stimulus check? And this one is still up in the air. We've had a lot of proposals, some of which included those that were claimed as dependents, while others have just said, let's do exactly what we did for the CARES Act. My guess is it's probably going to be something similar to what the CARES Act was. We've also heard about a $40,000 income limit that Mitch McConnell talked about last week, but Bloomberg reported this week that a cap at that level is not seen as likely based on what a person familiar with the situation said. So hopefully if the Bloomberg report is correct, then there won't be a $40,000 income limit. I know there's a lot of people that make $50,000 or $60,000 per year that feel like that $40,000 income limit was way too low. And anyway, so it does sound like that $40,000 income limit is probably not going to happen in the next stimulus check. But President Trump has also said he wants to give a generous stimulus. And in a Fox Business Network interview, he said that he actually supports larger numbers than the Democrats. If President Trump is wanting to be extra generous, if the Senate only passes something that's a $40,000 limit, that's going to exclude a lot of people that received the first stimulus check in this second stimulus check. I don't think that's what President Trump has in mind when he's talking about a generous stimulus check. So I really think that the next stimulus check is going to be close to what the CARES Act was, the first stimulus check. And I think there is a possibility that those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes are included this time. The HEROES Act that passed in the House back in May included provisions for those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes to receive $1,200 no matter what age they were. The first stimulus check, if you were 17 and up and claimed as a dependent, you were left out completely and there was no money given out for you. I'm hopeful that the next stimulus check will include those that were claimed as dependents. But my guess is overall, it's going to be similar to what the CARES Act was. So a $75,000 income limit for single people, $150,000 per couple, and then some sort of bonus for those that have dependent children. So the last question I want to cover is, how much will the next stimulus check be? We've had people talk about the next stimulus check being lower than $1,200. We've had a lot that have been higher than $1,200. The HEROES Act, which passed back in May in the House of Representatives but stalled in the Senate, was $1,200 for individuals, whether they were claimed as dependents or not. My guess is it's going to be something similar to $1,200 like we received in the first stimulus check. We've also had proposals such as the Emergency Money for the People Act, as well as some other proposals from Bernie Sanders and from other senators and from some in the House of Representatives that included recurring payments of $1,200 or $2,000. My guess is a recurring payment of $1,200 or $2,000 is not going to happen. I don't think we're going to get a monthly payment because I don't think it's going to pass the Senate. My guess is we're going to get a one-time payment, and it's probably going to be $1,200 like the first stimulus check. That's my best guess based on the information I have and from what I've heard from all of the discussions and all the proposals that have gone out. So, what is the timeline for the second stimulus check? Earliest is the third week in August. Who will get the second stimulus check? I think it's going to be similar requirements as the first stimulus check. So if you got the first one, my guess is you should get the second one as well. And I'm really hopeful that they include those that were claimed as dependents as well that were left out of the first stimulus check. And as far as how much it's going to be, I think it's going to be $1,200 again. That's my guess based on the information I have and from what I've been hearing. Hopefully next week, we're going to be finally getting details. I know you guys are sick of hearing all of this speculation and the guesses and everything else. Next week, Congress is back in session. They're going to be discussing the next stimulus check, and we should get some concrete answers on what's actually happening with the second stimulus check. Thank you once again so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that like button so that YouTube will share this video with others. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Thank you once again so much for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.